Good morning, traders. Today is Wednesday, November 16th. My name is Charles, and this is the Pirate Traders live stream. Sorry I'm running late here. The market is already open. All right, so we're opening inside the previous day's range. We're expecting chop first thing. So don't get overly worried here. First thing in the morning, we're likely to grind up and down. We just tested the overnight low, leaving behind a weak low. If we push below the overnight low and we find resistance there, that will be bearish for continuation lower. But I would definitely call this a chop zone. So I'd expect a lot of up and down grind here. I wanted to take a second to just step back and kind of look at what the market is doing here, bigger picture. And I wanted to focus on these larger nodes of volume. So if you notice, we have this very large node of volume on the cumulative down here. We have this very large node of volume on the cumulative here, and then up here. And you can see from when the CPI data came out that created the change in the market, we very quickly moved from one major node to the next. And then once again, very quickly moved from one major node to the next. If we can find support in here this morning, and head back up, break the overnight high, I think there's a very real possibility that we could be heading up towards the next major node, which is all the way up here around the 4120s. Okay, so if what we've got here is excess, balance, and a breakout to more excess, I would expect that to be a move to that next major node. Okay. Now, as far as the balance is concerned to the downside, so if this doesn't hold, if this balance that we've got in here breaks and we start to head lower, well, then we've got a lot of weakness that we've left below that needs repair. We've got a very large gap and just a lot of weak references. Okay. So this balance that I see the market doing right now, which on both the ES and the NQ looks kind of like a channel, I suspect that should hold today. And if it does, we look for continuation higher. But if it breaks and we start to head lower, we could get a real pullback in the market. So I'm keeping a close eye on it. You can see it there on the Q as well. Big move of excess and then balance in the form of a channel. So if this breaks today, we could get a big pullback to fill the gap. Let's see how the chop zone breaks. It's a little bit bearish that we're below the overnight low on the Q. So there's a lot of resistance in the overnight range. We got a big node right here around 39.95. That will likely take quite a bit of momentum to break through. And then another one above here around the 4005 level. But if we can get through both of those, we should be able to head up and test the overnight high. And if we can get above the overnight high and find support, that is when I get really, really bullish for continuation to the upside. Anywhere inside the overnight range is really just a chop zone. They could find resistance and pull right back down at any moment. And we left that weak low in need of repair. So I think we got some choppity chop ahead of us here. So as always in a chop zone, as we make our way back to the halfback, we look for support here, 39.86, to make another poke at the high. If we pass back through the halfback here, we'll look to head down and repair that weak low, looking for support. J Trader asks, which way is it going to go? It's going to go up, but then out of nowhere, it's going to stop going up and it's going to turn around and it's going to start going down. And then out of nowhere, it's going to stop going down. It's going to turn around. It's going to start going up again. It's going to keep doing this until it breaks a key level. And we start to get one side or the other winning. Until then, they'll just chop it up. DJ Trader, could you change the orange and red colors since they are quite similar and cannot be distinguished well? That's the first I've ever heard of that. Yeah, if you're talking about over here where the volume profiles kind of overlap from each other, that's just every now and again. But I'm not focused on that right now. I'm focused on yesterday's volume and the overnight volume or the orange cumulative volume. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't change my settings. I've tried it before. Like the colors on the TPOs, how they put the volume, the coloring on here for volume. I actually don't like that. I wish I could make them all white the way I have the overnight here. But I tried doing that and it just messed with my analysis. My brain is just programmed to look at this. It's data recognition. And so as soon as you start to mess with the settings, it's like, it doesn't feel right. Something's wrong. I don't understand. Like you get used to the thing working a certain way. So I'm going to stick with the colors I got, brother. But I encourage you to get your own market profile software and set it up however you would like. David Glass says internals on Thinkorswim are down. Say it ain't so. Oh, they are. What's the deal? TD Ameritrade? Oh, that's a bummer. No need to fear. Trading View is here. TX are below the zero line. Tyson, can you get breadth on TradingView? Yeah, you can get them all. For those of you that don't know, you can sign up for TradingView for free. There's actually a link in the description below next to charting software. You can sign up for free with TradingView, and then you've got them all, and here's what they're listed as. So the advancers versus decliners is just ADD, tick is just tick Q is just tick Q, and then you got the VOLD as well. Oh, you get the ratio and everything? No, those are add-ons for Thinkorswim. But I bet you could actually just copy and paste the code into TradingView if you really wanted to. I know Russell puked. It crapped, it puked. It's just having a horrible day. Yeah, see, so now, it's that same game of like, I haven't been watching the Russell, but it doesn't look like it was channeling. It looks like it's a horizontal balance area. So I would actually look at the lows from a couple days ago. If that breaks, then you're looking to start to pull back and balance off some of this excess down here. But if that can hold, they could just dip below, turn around, head right back up to the opposite end. On the Russ. OM, good morning, traders. Welcome. Oh, you're right. Tick Q is the one that's working. How bizarre. How bizarre. Do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do. Ooh, traders. Ooh, traders. Okay, so now we broke through the halfback, so we're heading down to repair that weak low. What happens at the overnight low will be very important, right? If they want to keep this channel, if they want to keep this support here, they need to just poke below the overnight low, find some support, and then come right back up. But if they poke below and they find resistance there, that is more bearish to see. Pavel, NQ's overnight low is resistance. Ooh, you're right. So that's bearish on the Q. Next target is testing yesterday's low. And this is pretty bearish because this is kind of breaking that potential support I was looking for on the concept of there being a channel. So once again, same as the ES, the Q has to just poke below yesterday's low and then pull right back up. Any resistance there, you're looking for further downside continuation. So we just repaired that weak low on the ES. Let's see if we bring in some buyers. Can we find support, or does the overnight low become resistance? This would be a great time to take a look at the ticks and see who's winning in that battle. Okay, so we can see the buyers got to the zero line and then they got smacked down. So right now the sellers are in control of the market. That is bearish to see. Design up playing peekaboo with Pappy. Yeah, they are. It would be interesting to get a little look below and fail here that just turns around and rips higher. I was thinking about that this morning. You know, the fact that this area where the overnight found support above it, this was all strong hands who were buying during the panic and the fear yesterday. So if they were willing to buy during panic and fear, they are more likely strong hands. So if this starts to break, things get very bearish. But I could easily see a poke and a pop if those strong hands are still waiting. They're just playing peekaboo for now. Cyber, can I pay to the private stream with crypto? No, unfortunately, because it's a reoccurring payment, you can't use crypto. Got to use a credit card or PayPal. But you could buy anything else on the website with crypto. The e-course, a t-shirt. I just put some Christmas ornaments. All right. NQ is officially bearish. ES, I'm going to give it a little more breathing room here. I want to test these areas that I have marked as support first before I get bearish. as I said, there's a very real chance the buyers who bought in here yesterday are going to buy again when given the opportunity. So let's just give them a second. If the market's going to break lower, it's got a long way down to go. No reason to try to front run it. Okay, so now we're looking for resistance at the overnight low. Do they get smacked down right here at 79? Resistance at the overnight low would be new sellers trying to take the market lower. I know these analogies are getting out of hand. The deer with the guns on their head and the little T-Rex arms I can put up with. But as soon as we're talking about sewers and septic tanks, I got to pull the plug. All right, that is resistance at the low. That is bearish to see. All right, so we got this one last node here around 68.69. Looking for some potential support there. If that breaks, a test of yesterday's low. At this point, the only thing that will get me back to a neutral state would be if we can get back above the opening price up here at 39.82. As long as we're below there, I remain bearish. Okay, once again, testing the resistance at the overnight low. NAP 10 a.m. Housing Market Index and Business Inventories. Looking for a little bit of a bot flush here. Quick little volatility right at the turn of the clock. All right, let's see if we get it. All right, no resistance at the overnight low. Now we're testing the opening price. All right, so now let's go back and take a look at the ticks. Buyers starting to try to take charge. So they got the trend moving in their direction on the ticks, and they're above the 0 line. If they can hold it above the 0 line here, they will break this bearish momentum. We'll be right back in the chop zone. Do the ticks get slapped down? Hey, Thinkorswim fixed it. They're back. So this is a really important battle that's taking place right here at this overnight low. And these ticks will tell us who's going to win. They worked their way all the way up to the 0 line. If they're able to bring in new buyers here, it means they're looking to take the market back up into that overnight range. But if they get smacked down again, well, then it's a sign the sellers are in charge. All right, that smackdown increases the odds that this is new sellers piling in, looking to take the market lower. So once again, we're looking for support around 68. If that breaks, we're looking to test yesterday's low. Thank you, Ticks. Appreciate you. Here we go again, testing that overnight low once again. They're starting to poke at this resistance. $777 bullish price action until it's not. No, this is bearish. Nothing bullish about this. You got value lower than yesterday. You pushed below the overnight low. You've tested it multiple times for resistance. You're beginning to build up volume below the overnight low. And those ticks are having an awfully hard time trying to stay above the zero line. So right now it is still bearish. Screwball, but resistance is getting weaker. Yeah, it's true. They're poking at it, man. They're trying. And we do have, I mean, it's not perfect taper, but we do have decent taper on the low here too. It's all about the resistance. Can they hold it? No, sir. Back to chop. Bummer, man. All right, so now this sets us up for a potential bullish scenario. It's going to be a lot of work to get through all this resistance in the overnight range above us. So, you know, it's not like we're going to go up in a straight line. But looking below the overnight low and failing, meaning we poked below and then we pulled back into the overnight range, increases the odds that we're going to try to head up towards that opposite end. And I believe if we can get there, we'll bring in new buyers for continuation. So I would suspect we're going to have a very choppy, kind of grindy day higher. Much more than like a straight move. Oh, spoke too soon. Back below the overnight low. Tick smack down again. MaxPain.exe is in full effect. Okay, so here we go again, testing that overnight low for resistance. If it holds this time, I'll be back to bearish very quickly. But I'll stay neutral and then let them test it. They keep poking. All right, resistance is holding. Bearish once again. So same as before, looking to test 68. If that breaks, yesterday's low. They tried to pull a fast one on me. Market will do what market will do. Hey, Chris. Been good. Been staying alive. Staying alive. Ah. Okay, so the market just created a poor low. The highest probability when you create a poor low is that the market will push away. It'll go the opposite direction, looking for resistance, and then it will come back to repair that poor low, meaning it'll get at least a point below that A period low. So we now have a poor low in need of repair, which is bearish. Petrus asks, is your preparation each day pretty much what you do in front of us, or is there anything else you do to get ready? No, it's what I do in front of you. I generally open up my computer about 2 minutes before I go live. I open up the charts. I take a quick look. I decide what I'm going to talk about, what points I'm going to mention, and I go. The way I trade is that I have a way to handle every possibility. When the market is going to open in the morning, I know literally every single thing that could happen. If a market is going to go sideways and chop, if a market is going to have a gap and go, if a market is going to, dip below a certain level and turn around and come back, if the overnight inventory is net short or net long, whatever, right? When I open up the chart in the morning, right from the get-go, I know of whatever potential scenarios could play out. Now, of course, I have no idea which scenario will play out, but I know this could happen, and that could happen. And that I know instantly, like just from experience. I know what it means when we open below the overnight or below yesterday's opening price or whatever. Like, I just know what all these things mean instantly as soon as I look at them. So it doesn't really take me long to set myself up, because all I'm setting myself up for is watching. Really, I'm just setting myself up to see what the market does once it opens. So it doesn't really take that much effort, I find. And then once the market opens, then I start to get my insights in real time based on if it's doing what I think it's going to do. I thought it was going to do this. Oh, no, it's not doing that. It must be doing the opposite, when what should happens doesn't, and so on and so forth. Rob, I'm in 2 tick increments. So this is such a great moment for market profile software right here. So in this moment, there are sellers that are starting to panic right now, right? They're thinking, oh, I've been waiting and waiting and waiting for this thing to go lower. And they are really freaking out that it won't just go. They've been selling and selling and selling this overnight low, and it just keeps coming back again and again. And they're getting so frustrated. But we who have market profile, we're not sweating at all because we know about that poor low. And we know that this is just the market pushing away from it, looking for resistance to come back and repair it. Now, obviously, if it were to turn around and head higher, that would be an even bigger when what should happens doesn't, which would be even more bullish. But until that happens, the signal is we need a repair. Scooball says, I don't like the market today. I know this is Scooball's least favorite thing. Support resistance right at a previous high. Tug of war. Ticks up and down through the zero line. This is Scooball's hellscape right here. It's fine by me. I got a pour low. I'm good to go. Saying, what's the saying? B inside A, go away. I've never heard that before, but that is funny. And that was probably my own philosophy. If the B period is inside the A period and the C is inside the B, just leave it alone. Well, now C is inside B, which is inside A. All right, guys. Well, as far as what to leave you with, my analysis stays the same. This is bearish to me. We are below the overnight low, and we just keep bringing in more and more volume down here. The more volume and the more time, the more bearish it becomes. They are trying to poke at that resistance. The buyers keep trying and trying and trying to poke at it. So there is a very real chance that we may push back up into the overnight range. But until we do, this remains bearish. So I see some potential support around 68. Maybe that's enough for a bounce. If not, further downside continuation from there. We still have a poor low in need of repair. So as long as the C period high stays below the B period high, I remain bearish. With that, I wish you good luck and happy trading. We will see you here tomorrow morning. Thanks a lot, guys. Members of the brigade, you know what to do.